On this episode of Documators, we spent a day with Frosty, a homeless skater living on the streets of Hollywood with his dog Echo. Real talk about how he got here and what it's like trying to survive. It's raw, it's human, and it's way more common than you think. And if it moves you, let us know in the comments. Okay, let's get into it.
My name's Frosty. If you want to go by my real name, it's Chris McCoy, so that's up to you.
All right, Frosty, let's start with your life before you were on the street. What was going on?
I used to be a professional, and I moved a lot of weight, enough that I attracted the attention of the authorities, and it was enough to get me raided, so...
So after you were raided, is that what transitioned you to life on the street?
Yeah, it wasn't going to be street life. I was going to go on a 3-month road trip. I decided to hop a freight train, start hitchhiking and traveling across the country, and it wasn't until later on that I discovered I had a warrant, and then it became, well, now I'm really going with this. Once you start doing it coast to coast for years and years, it becomes ingrained in your personality, and it becomes part of who you are. If you're on the street for 3 years, there's no going back after that. That's just it. You're done after that. My friend in Fuller, rest in peace, met him on the road, and Fuller started chuckling because he was like, oh shit, I'm at 2.5, like 3 years, yeah. And yeah, he's dead now. He drowned in a river in Oregon, so rest in peace, motherfucker. Yeah, you remember him. There you go. I had taken him on his first freight train ride along with Echo. I had to teach Fuller and Echo how to jump off a freight train. When you take a kid to hop a freight train for the first time, it takes a lot of work because he had to jump in the car first, and then I have to lift Echo up. Moving in a box car, that's pretty dangerous if you're jumping with a large dog. You set him on your lap, wrap your arms around him, and then push yourself off and out and tuck and roll so that the dog, as you turn, ends up being above you and they don't end up getting, hit on the ground. You take the blow with your shoulder. So the most important thing for on and off there is checking the speed. Don't overestimate yourself. Your limbs won't grow back.
So when did you get to Hollywood?
I've been in Hollywood for many years, at least fucking 10 years. It's on and off type thing. I've been all over the country at the same time, so.
Are you comfortable sleeping, existing for the most part, outside?
If you had to ask me, do you want the couch, the nice carpet, the comfy bed, I would trade any and all of that for exactly what I'm sitting on and what I am sitting next to right now. What I have right here is wonderful. It's absolutely amazing.
Can you share any advice or life experiences with kids that all of a sudden find themselves on the street?
Good advice for street kids?
Like if it was a new kid on the street and he's a little bit lost.
If I was a really young kid, under 20 or something, always go to a youth drop-in center because they will hook you up with free gear and supplies right away. You can get backpacks and everything like that. The other most important thing is always make sure that you have easily accessible a self-defense weapon, which can count as either a skateboard or a knife. It's handy if it's a multi-tool too.
What about fights? Fights with other homeless that surround you.
Expect them to happen pretty much every day if you're on the street. You kind of just get used to the fact that almost every other day there's bloodshed for one reason or another. If you don't want to be having to deal with it, then you're going to have to work with some social service programs. If you're going to be on the streets, just be ready that this is what you're going to have to deal with, and that you'll probably have some interesting scars a few years later to tell people about. So that at least makes it fun.
What about trust issues with people you meet, like friends that you meet out here?
Avoid meth addicts. Just stay the fuck away from tweakers and crackheads. Don't be desperate for a friend. You don't need to talk to everyone, but if you meet some of the right people, you might meet some of the best friends you'll ever have for the rest of your life. Like my members, crew of Tarp Tribe, I actually know them better than I know my own little brothers. I didn't talk to my little brothers since I ran away at 16, so we've traveled coast to coast. We've had to deal with cops, we've gone to jail together, we've broken each other's teeth and knocked each other out, and we're still friends after it. That's real family that you get to choose right there, so that's one of the best bits of advice I can give.
Can you tell us what the situation is with cops when you're living on the street?
Cops are animals. In general, cops are fucking animals. They're horrible. Literally, absolutely horrible. I mean, look, I've met like 1 in a million good cops, so that's why I always give them the benefit of the doubt. But in general, they're horrible. If you're 5150, it means that you lose all your rights. It happens to street people all the time when it's someone who either has mental disability or is methed out. I got 5150 when I was completely sober and calm. So me and my ex wake up at our tent in this empty alleyway that we stay at next to the CVS. There's this really old homeless guy I know named George, elderly Hispanic guy. He's in a wheelchair. He's a serious heroin addict. I see him just sitting there and I'm like, hey George, how's it going? He goes, oh, not good, man. And he shows me his arm and he's got this fucking huge abscess. It's fucking huge. And I'm just like, dude, we need to take care of that. So I go inside CVS. When I get out, I take him with the wheelchair to my ex and I'm gonna clean this thing out. This cop car pulls up. This lady cop gets out and I mentioned, I was like, oh, by the way, I have a knife over there. I'm gonna clean my friend's wound here. And she's being really weird about it, just kind of standing there. I'm like, so are we being detained? And she's like, no, you're not being detained. And I start walking across the street towards Echo. All of a sudden she goes, hey, wait a minute, stop. This other cop car swoops in at high speed. A bunch of guys jump out, grab me, throw me on the hood really hard. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? And he goes, when a cop says stop, you stop. And I'm like, I was told I'm not being detained. They said, when they stop, you stop. They said I was crazy because they said I was going to cut a hole in a homeless man's arm when I was going to clean his abscess. Then I got taken in as 5150. You're in a room all full of tweakers screaming all day, all like just random people going, go, come get me, white boy, I don't care about you, fuck you, man, dude, I don't care, I'll come get you, fuck you, man, I'm gonna kill you, all right, fuck you, I'm okay, yeah, coming for me. It's one of those, like, you can't make this shit up. So that's my fun story about that.
Where do you normally sleep?
I do a different thing every night. For quite a while now, I like to stick to being able to stay mobile where I can literally pick up and go at the drop of a hat and stay absolutely anywhere, wherever I want. My backpack is kind of Mary Poppins status where I can just reach into it and pull out my bed and supplies. When I put it all together, it just fits into my main backpack and my duffel bag like Tetris. A lot of what I do and how I've survived as a street kid, I learned from Boy Scouts. So one thing I would also say, some really important advice, have some duct tape. You can make your worn out shoes and boots and backpack like new. Always have some with you.
Do you ever go hungry?
It's been very different over the years, and that always depends on what part of the country you're traveling through. I've been killing time in Los Angeles, and there's a homeless crisis. That means there's actually been a surplus of food. I end up with more than other people because since I have Echo, people always give more, even when we have a ton of dog food. The really twacked out people are checking garbage cans, know when they come by me that I have extra food, and I give that out.
What would be a good day for you?
Days like this. The really good days are you and your friends are deliberately getting into mischief, and there are unexpected parts that make it even more interesting and worth remembering. That's one of the reasons why I love this, is the weird, random, bizarre shit that you can't expect is what makes it worth it. It can go really bad or really good, but if you can handle that type of turbulence, it's what makes it so much fun.
So what about old age? Do you have any fears about growing old on the street?
I have no fears. For all I know, that could be a mental disorder. Considering a lot of the things I do, just the lack of fear is kind of easy. That's just part of my psyche. Even though I love what I do, that doesn't mean that I would recommend it to everyone. It's not for everyone. You would probably go insane or try to kill yourself or someone else. You have to be a certain level of crazy to love it this much, but if you are like that, I wouldn't have it any other way.
So Frosty, what about as you get older? How do you survive on the street as an old man?
That's simple. I don't want to get there. If I do get towards old age, I'll be one of those angry old fuckers that still has energy and just won't die. If I'm anything less than that, I'll fucking kill myself happily on my own terms and go out Kurt Cobain style. Gunshot. That's how I would be happy going out as an old man if I ever have to wear a colostomy bag or something.
I have to be honest with you, my friend. Being homeless is one of my biggest fears.
There's a reason why there's 3 classes of people. The lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. The lower class, they're just trash. Everyone just looks down on them. And then you got the middle class. They're the ones who are doing all the work. And then there's the upper class who really don't do anything. Do you know why people like me are here? The homeless people? We're here for the middle class people, to keep them scared, to keep them going to those jobs. Me as a homeless person, every time someone gives me $1, it's reminding them you keep going to your job and just be glad that you're not where I'm fucking at. If that's a public service, I cry about that idea because there's so much truth to it, which is why I do what I do and I try to make shit better for the other homeless people. I'd like to think that at least some of those little things will make a dent.
Thank you so much for sharing your life with us, Frosty.
Yeah,